Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Partner Awesome Podcast. In this new year, 5786. For those celebrating, Shana Tova Umatuka, we wish you a happy, healthy new year. My name is Jason Asher, along with Ryan Albretsen, and today we're continuing on to part 2 of one of my favorite subjects, Ryan, deployment forms.
Exciting stuff, Jason. Exciting stuff.
It's very exciting. I just cut you off, so please continue.
No, I just wanted to, talk about the introduction to my new light that I have.
Yeah.
I think it's really keeping me a little bit brighter. My other light broke, so just in the comments below, let me know how my lighting looks and if my face looks absolutely red or not.
Yeah. No, I think right now we can't tell that you were at the beach all weekend, or maybe yesterday you kind of like rode in the mountains somewhere. But
right,
no, you're looking good. You're looking balanced.
Okay, cool.
You know, if I was a talent agent, I would definitely be like, he's not oversaturated. He's has a good kind of blend of flesh tones there, and things are okay.
Okay, cool. All right.
You know what else is okay? You know what else is okay?
What's that?
Hot honey. I'm talking about honey that is manufactured with like chili. Like you put it on anything, and then it's like, oh look, it's sweet honey, and then boom,
Right.
you're like hit with this like wave of spiciness.
That's popular in chicken wings. Everywhere you go, if you get chicken wings, it's all about the hot honey now.
And obviously, I am behind the times with the chicken wings, or else I would have, would have known about that earlier.
Yeah, you got to get on it.
Gotta get on it. All right, so Ryan, today we're going to talk about deployment forms, and we're going to talk about how to structure the forms to get the questions asked in order to get the answers that a partner, manager, executive, individual contributor, VP level, C level needs in order to make informed decisions about the outputs of the partner as they're implementing their software, their platform, their product. And today we're going to dive really deep into how we're going to formulate and architect that sort of a form. So buckle up. We're about to go into Excel. And I know, wow, that sounds so exciting.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever been excited about that phrase, buckle up, we're about ready to get into Excel. Maybe some accountants, some CPAs.
It's possible.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be.
I have high confidence in you, Jason. I think it's going to be exciting.
Ryan, I appreciate the confidence. And, as always, let's continue on. So now let's, okay, so let's start here. So let's start with section, right? So we're going to have the section. And then from the section, we're going to have, we're going to basically start with the soft skills of communication, right? We're going to talk about project management. We're going to talk about modules purchased. We're going to talk about modules purchased. We're going to talk about customizations. And then we're going to talk about expectations. All right, so let's get these guys a little clearer. Now, the questions that we're asking, I just want to preface the audience here. These are going to be a little bit generic at first. And what we believe is going to happen is that we're going to be able to go through, section by section here, and then be able to kind of get these guys, I don't want to say boxed in, but understood on a little bit more in-depth level. All right, so now the first section that we're going to have is going to be, pre-sales, right? So that's going to be the first one. The next one is going to be deployment, and the next one is going to be post-deployment. So within the communications, what we want to do here with pre-sales is basically, cadence. We want to go over cadence. We want to go over tone. We want to go over intention. We want to go over cadence, tone, intention, as well as like objections, right? Within anything that was presented, and by being able to track all of this, we're able to track how the initial communications were during that pre-sales time. Project management right now is really, in really discovery for SOW. So there's no real project management deliverable. Modules purchase is really, it's really pre-sales at that time. Customizations is basically scope, and then expectations. Now, the expectations here is where if something bad is going to happen during the project or something's going to be at risk, this is where the expectations and the expectation management really starts to get into place. Were the expectations managed correctly? Right? That's the first question you want to ask correctly. Was the client oversold? Which is always a huge red flag. And then also, did they did they seem to understand or not understand the contract? And I think you and I, Ryan, have been down this road quite a few
Mhm.
times where wasn't that implied? Like what once I hear the I word, I
Yeah,
know that something was like really, really wrong
right.
during pre-sales that for some reason that whatever that was, it just didn't
Or the customer assumes it's a part of it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 which is never what you want that customer to know about.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
basically, so in terms of the deployment form, this is really where we're going to begin because if this is going to be a runaway success or even a mild success, this row right here, solid. If
Yeah.
this is going to fall off the rails, get escalated, God forbid, reach the point of a lawsuit, this is where the bad begins, and specifically around I was want to highlight that in red. This is where the problems start because the communication cadence, you communicated well, you hit your meetings, you showed up, you did the right thing, great. Project management, you set expectations. This is how long it takes us to do this, that, and the other thing. This is how long it's going to take to get to project life. Fine. The modules, fine. Optimizations, great. The expectations, okay, fine. So now we're past that phase. The client is signed, so congratulations. So now that we're past that phase, we're gonna carry down the communications, right? But now we're also gonna have in there not only cadence but executive alignment. We're gonna have team alignment, and in some cases, we're gonna have depending on. Gotta help me here, dude. Alignment. Thank you. Sorry, team alignment, and then also change management. You know, alignment, which is like who are the champions, early adopters, etc. Right now,
Yeah.
who's who there. Now, once you get down to that level of detail, let's say there is an escalation, and let's say one of the champions of change management team didn't like what they saw during UAT. That's one escalation where the mitigation can come pretty quickly, right? Whereas if it's an executive in a room that's jumping up and down, this was implied, this was implied, this was implied, that's a different escalation versus, the team where they're like, well, we asked for this. We have a little bit more budget for phase one. Let's put it in or push it off for phase two. And as we know,
Right.
Ryan, we've been through this so many different times. We kind of
Right.
know all the different aspects of what could go wrong, which is why, when we build these deployment forms for clients, we take it very seriously because this really gives us not only like scientific measurements, gets us into psychological aspects of the relationship, and also gets us into those very, kind of black box areas that a lot of partners don't like to get into. So now project management. Okay. So let's say we're dealing with Scrum, Agile, right? What else do we want to put on? What else do you think, Ryan, that we want to put here when it comes to project management?
I'd say we need to make it very clear. Like these deployment forms, they protect
Yeah,
us, right?
yeah,
They manage expectations with the customer. They
yep,
make sure that we're not, working on something for 2-3 months, and then the customer comes back and says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, that's not what I expected. We needed to do it this way." Or this website, it was supposed to connect seamlessly with NetSuite. What was the gap here? So I think that anything we can add to that to ensure that the customer and us are aligned with that SOW,
right,
I think is best.
right. So you call out some very so it's a very good points, right? So we have SOW alignment along with Scrum
Yeah,
Agile, and then we have did the client's team show up for meetings? Did the client hit their deadlines? And then we turn around to the partner. Did you show up at meetings?
yeah,
And did you hit your deadlines? And did you hit 95% of the time, unless it's like the most vanilla project ever, the answer is no. So, and then of course, it says, what objections were fielded, how were challenges overcome, what is inside of the support queue that needs help, right? And then when we turn this into more of a diagram format, all of these are going to connect to how the software supplier or how the platform, really how the platform behaves, what they can learn from their behaviors, and then how the platform can grow. So as much as this deployment form is about the partner and holding them accountable, it's also about the platform itself and what they can learn from the situation, and then from there turn all of these different learnings, into a score. From that score, be able to prioritize. From the prioritization, be able to affect change. So there's all of these questions, and the method of the madness here is that there is an alignment to foster change for the platform, for the client, for the partner, and then for the organization. So
Right.
there's wins. There's wins all around. When this is followed. So now the modules
Right.
purchased. If we're talking about ERP, we're talking about NetSuite. Let's say financials first. We could say first WD. Let's say Suite Commerce Advanced. Let's say another module could be Advanced Inventory.
All right, Jason, this is starting to become a pretty complicated project.
Yeah, it is WMS. And then, okay, so now let's just, but this is very typical of what we
Yeah,
go through, right?
of
So
course.
then we have customizations. So let's say customizations are going to be, let's say Suite Commerce Advanced. Let's just say, for the sake of a better, like, let's just say multi, um, let's just say my account, a premium, and the customization could be anything in there. And then let's say shopping cart, and let's just say you know shopping cart, and let's say there's a CPQ in there as well. So those are some pretty sophisticated customizations, right? So
Hmm.
now the expectations that were set were, we are going to have discovery sessions and workshops that will um, gain focus regarding the requested customizations, right? So that's the expectation that was set. Okay, I know we're coming up on time. We have a couple of minutes left. So to kind of finish out our discussion today. So post development, again, we're just gonna, the cadence, the communication is fine. Project management. What is left from the deployment? What is left from deployment to get live, and what do phase two projects look like, right? And then when it comes to modules purchased, again, is there an intent to purchase more modules this year, right? And then with the customizations, I mean, this one we're just looking for. With customizations, is basically red, yellow, green. In terms of status, because in an ideal situation, all the customizations are done. It's green, but most of the times it's going to be yellow, and yellow is also a success. And then expectations, when the remainder of the deployment, when the remainder of the deployment will be finished, if it is still in play, and if it's still in play, and what is the go forward plan? Okay, so let's get this wrapped up. Okay, so now we
Hmm.
have our three pillars of sections. We have pre-sales, deployment, post-deployment. So we have the three parts of the project. We have communications, we have project management, modules purchase, customizations, and expectations. And what we're going to do in the next episode is take all of this, map it out into map it out on a trusty Miro board, and then go through it in detail with a little bit more time to show how partner managers and folks that work in a partnership space can kind of take this concept of deployment form, apply it to their platform, apply it to their product to help not only ground their partners with factual results of their projects, but also ground the program so that again they can learn about themselves, the partners can learn about themselves, partner and the platform can learn about the client, and progress could be made all around.
Beautiful, Jason.
All right. All right. So, on behalf of Ryan Albretsen, my name is Jason Asher, and thank you very much for joining us today at Partner Awesome Podcast on our part 2 of deployment forums. And we will see you. We'll